Yeah, nice. I look like a South Yarra fuckboy. So I'm sorry, I'm all right, but I do. No, it's nice to be here. I live in Sydney, so it's been nice to come down to Melbourne. I'm staying at a beautiful little hotel. I just snuck out. It's called the Holiday Inn, and they don't know I've left, but I'm sure it'll be fine. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Does anyone have COVID in here, by the way? Yeah, one. You should fuck off, I reckon, for sure. No one's got... All right, with you guys, I don't think it's real. It's good we can talk freely about it. Now, this is a meeting now. This is definitely... No, I live in Sydney, so it didn't really happen at all up there. So it's like... It's fine. The worst it got, we had this kind of spike over Christmas. I saw the best thing on the news I've ever seen, right? The northern beaches of Sydney got cut off, and there was a bridge, the Narrabeen Bridge, and that became the border, right? And on Christmas Eve, I saw this on the news. One of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I saw a mother in a mask crying, right? Beautiful, go with me. And she's holding a present, and the bridge is the border, and she's walking the present into the middle of the bridge, and she puts it down, and then she slowly walks backwards. And then another mother from the other side of the bridge, she walks out, picks up the present and walks back. It was like the South Korea, North Korea demilitarization zone, the most privileged prisoner exchange I've ever seen in my life. I expected a voice over a speaker to be like, put the soda stream down and walk backwards. It was great. No one took it seriously in Sydney at all, right? I saw this mid-lockdown, right? I saw this, and this was fucked before, like, COVID, right? I was walking down the street, and I think you guys will get a real kick out of this. I can already tell, right? I was walking down the street, and I saw two on-duty parking inspectors making out. Yeah, they should have been doing that before. Mid-lockdown, they should have been ruining people's days. Instead, they were finding love in truly the most unlikely of places. I couldn't believe it because for years I've always asked myself the question, who would ever fuck a parking inspector? You know what the answer is? Another fucking parking inspector. Sometimes you've got a date within your own, you know? You look in the mirror and go, this is as good as it gets, for sure. They were just going for it, middle of the day, and it wasn't a little peck, you know? It wasn't like, see you later, goodbye. It was like full tongue, just being like... People, by the way, parking wherever the fuck they wanted. Great day to get a park that day. You see two parking inspectors going for it, you're like, reverse in. It's the tongue in, reverse. Let's go, reverse. And this, I watched it for way too long as well, by the way. I went live on Instagram, it was unreal. Because this was the dynamic of the makeout, right? It was a man and a woman parking inspector, and the lady, she was pushed up against the pay station, like the parking meter. She was pinned up against it very sexually, just being like, like it was some kind of fucked up parking inspector role play situation. Do you know what I mean? Like they'd planned it out the night before. She'd been like, oh, Daddy. Yeah, that's what people say, right? Oh, Daddy, I've been such a bad girl. I've got so many parking tickets. Now push you up against the pay station and kiss me like you mean it. Or I parked in a loading zone, unload your load in me, you know, like... You know, a normal fantasy that we've all had at some point, right? Yep, right, okay. 2020, I'll remember it as the year I started drinking alone a lot. That's what and it was a good year. I loved it for that. People often tell you shouldn't drink alone, and I think they're losers that have never drunk alone. Because this is what it is. If you've never drunk alone, it's you who you already don't like that much. Let's be honest, right? It's you who you don't like, and then you drink alone and it's better. That's what it is, right? Like, you just improve whatever shit this is, and it's awesome. Does get you into a bit of trouble, though. This happened to me January 2020, right? I was at home, I was drinking alone, I was watching the 24-hour news one night, just on my lounge. I was drinking glass of wine after glass of wine, having a great night. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but January 2020, right, the entire east coast of the country was just on fire, right? Worst bushfires in Australia's history, right? I'm watching the 24-hour news, these horrific scenes are going on. I'm just getting drunk, glass of wine after glass of wine. And I got so drunk that night alone that I woke up in the morning to an email telling me I had volunteered to become a firefighter. That's when you're like, I think I should go to a meeting, maybe. I reckon I'll get in now, for sure. Think of that imagery, just me on the lounge watching this, fighting back the tears, being like, I'm coming, boys. We are one, but we are many. Just like lighting candles in my apartment, then pouring them out with a 600mm Mount Franklin, being like, I could do it, actually. I could do it for sure. And at that, I've only just started telling people that. That was a year ago. I've literally only just started telling people that because it doesn't paint you in a very good light, okay? Doesn't paint you in a good light to tell people that you got drunk and signed up to the New South Wales RFS in their greatest time of need, right? But you know what's a lot harder than having to tell people that is the next morning having to send the follow-up email. This is what I went with. Oh my God. So sorry about the above. Few too many glasses of Shiraz last night. Good luck with the back burning. You just shut the laptop and you move to Darwin. That's the only... I don't know. Oh, good. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to improve myself. One thing I'm trying to get better at, I'm trying to get better in conversation when I talk to people. When I see someone I'm not expecting to see, I'm horrific with like the way I speak. It's terrible, right? This happened to me. This is a true story. This happened to me just before lockdown, right? I was on a plane. I was flying Sydney to Melbourne, right? And I was sitting in seat 8B, right? Guess who comes and sits next to me in seat 8A, right? We didn't know this was going to happen, but my ex-girlfriend. Yeah. Why do bad things happen to good people? I'm a volunteer firefighter, for God's sake. I should have been at the front of the plane. But I'm sitting there, seat A, right? My ex, she didn't know I was going to be on the plane. I didn't know she was going to be, like, just completely random. I saw her, full plane, sitting in Melbourne. This is what I came up with on the spot when I saw her. This is what came out. I just saw her and I just went, you'll like this. This is pretty good, right? I saw her and I just went, no! That's it. I fucking knowed her. Pretty good. You can use that if you want, by the way. Next time you're in a conversation you don't want to be in, just be like, no! And it'll end. I reckon it'll end. For sure. But we had nowhere to go, right? It's a crowded plane. They couldn't move us, so we just had to sit next to each other, right? On a flight, Sydney to Melbourne. This was my ex-girlfriend. And here's a tip, right? I like to give everyone a tip when I do comedy, right? This is a great tip. If you are a nervous flyer, right, and you struggle with kind of turbulence on planes, right, and you get very nervous, try and sit next to your ex-girlfriend on the flight. That's the tip. It's pretty niche, but it's a pretty good tip. Because let me tell you, you don't really worry about the turbulence. Like at all, in fact. Like you hit a bit and everyone else on the plane is like, oh, whew, shit, God, are we going to be okay? Oh, God, right? And you're sitting there a bit more like, actually, I think we should drive this thing into the ground. I'll take my chances down there, thank you very much. We've got some problems in the sky right now. It's weird to be on a flight hoping it turns into an episode of Air Crash Investigation. Right, and it ruined my flight, ruined it completely. Like I had these new noise-cancelling headphones and I was so excited to use them. But you know what they don't cancel out? Memories. Like, in fact, they lock them in. You start remembering all this old shit you forgot about. Like, how does Bose do it? This is the craziest technology of all time. Hey guys, that's all I'm going to do. Thank you very much. My name's Sam Burton. See ya.